Hey, gang, it's a great time of year in sports with baseball in full swing, plus the Pro Hoops finals starting with Boston against Dallas, the Cup finals in hockey with Florida and Edmonton about to begin. The BetParx online sportsbook and casino app, the only betting app that I use and recommend. Why? Because I think it's safe, it's simple, it's easy to use. If I can do it, you can do it. PGA golf, women's tennis, MMA, lots of soccer. Bet on all your favorite sports on the BetParx online casino and sportsbook app for real money, and now play live baccarat, roulette, and also several different live blackjack games. Play them all right now with a live dealer right on your phone. Plus, play hundreds of exciting online slots. BetParx always adding new ones. I still love the Rocky Balboa slot, but now they have Zeus, Fantastic Fireworks, Lucky Cherry, 88 Fortunes, Slingo Fire and Ice, and Capital Gains. All the action and excitement right in your hand. You've got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Michigan, or Ohio. See the website at parx.com, Parx.com for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Time now for the Tuesday headlines from the Smerconish.com daily newsletter.
You are looking particularly spiffy. What is going on with you?
Thank you. I am wearing my special sport coat.
Yeah, I noticed. What's going
on
over there?
I've gotten a lot of wear out of this sport coat over the years. Have I not?
You definitely have.
You do know it's a special occasion when I'm all duded up
which
in this.
Which is why I'm sitting here like in a golf shirt, so I'm kind of curious as to what's going on over there.
Okay, so you will remember because you were with me, when John Travolta came to Philadelphia to do the interview for the Gotti movie.
Yes.
And I interviewed Travolta and John Gotti Jr.
Yes.
And Kelly Preston was there.
And we met her, and then shortly after, right. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. And she was so gracious and luminous.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was Travolta releasing the movie where he played John Gotti Sr.
Wait, didn't that interview take place at some famous Italian restaurant?
Dante and Luigi's.
Yeah. Exactly. Dante and Luigi's. How about that?
And you remember the drill, like they had it all set up with TV cameras and lights, and I was afforded 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I know
you go
I overstayed
in and out.
my welcome.
In and out.
And then they bring somebody else in.
Right.
And
Fox and Hound.
I remember that we ate well that day before the interview.
At Dante and Luigi's?
At Dante and Luigi's.
Delicious.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Big plate of sauce. Sop it up with bread.
It's the only time that I've done one of those Hollywood roadshow interviews. Okay. And it was fun, and I enjoyed meeting them.
Wait, are you telling me that you've got another one lined up today?
Right. So I have a Hollywood roadshow interview today where post radio I am interviewing Kevin Costner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very big Hollywood interview.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think this is really interesting. So, and you may know elements of the story.
Wait, like, is it a Yellowstone? Like a new?
No, it's not Yellowstone. It's
it?
called Horizon, an American Saga. And this morning, very early, for the first time, the commercials have just started. I saw a TV commercial for this movie. Everybody's going to hear, not just from me today, you're going to hear a lot about this movie because it's got a pretty remarkable backstory. First of all, it is a Western. And
he's so good at that.
He's written it, directs it, and stars in it. And you would call this an epic Western. Listen to this now, TC. First of all, it'll be released later this month.
Okay.
Only in theaters.
Fascinating.
This is part 1. Part 2 is released only in theaters in August.
Wow.
Part 1.
He's bookending the summer.
Right. I've never heard of that before. That's one of the unique aspects of this. Also that you can't just go stream it. And it is part of a 4-chapter story that he's telling. And he has gone into his own pocket, according to published accounts in which he's quoted, to the tune of $38 million.
When you say 4-chapter, are there going to be 2 more? Or
Yeah.
There's one now, one in August, one of the other 2.
So the first 2 are done.
Okay.
Okay. The second 2 are written, not yet produced.
Wow.
But he's got a lot on the line.
And what era is this? Like Yellowstone
Great question.
is now,
okay,
isn't it?
What's going on? It is a Western
right?
during the Civil War.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like historical fiction.
Yes, it's historical fiction, and as I'm going to tell him, in fact, I think this is going to be my first exchange
okay, go ahead.
with
What's
him.
your first exchange?
Hey, nice to meet you. Enjoyed your movie.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Oh, you like the sport coat?
Right, yes,
That's probably what I'll be saying
exactly.
next. And then I will say to him, I'm sure this is like heresy to you, Kevin Costner. I always forget that T in there. Kevin Costner.
Also, don't forget to say Tatanka. You know,
what?
Like Tatanka.
So I saw that movie in Santa Fe.
That was such a great movie.
I saw that movie in Santa Fe. I remember where I was.
What a great place to see it.
Yeah.
Are you
exactly.
kidding me?
Yeah,
Yes.
in a big old theater in Santa Fe.
Perfect.
So I will say to him, I watched your movie. I'm sure this is an act of heresy, but I saw the advance, the screener.
Right.
I watched it on television at home.
The whole thing you saw.
3-hour part one.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm going to say to him, like, that is not how you intend people to see this movie.
I love that.
This is a big
Sweeping.
screen.
Sweeping.
Yeah. And then I think I want to get into him the whole logic of, I kind of dig it. You know, let's release it at the beginning of summer, and then let's release the next one at the end of summer. Although I was talking about this, and I was saying, if I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie, as far as I know, but I imagine
Maybe you stumbled on one of the 17 of them at some point.
Okay, but I imagine if I were to watch Fast and Furious 52,
right,
it wouldn't matter if I had seen 1 through 51.
I don't know the answer to that.
But in this case,
yeah, it matters.
It matters. Like, I think it's all on the line.
Is there love?
There's love.
Okay.
Yeah, there's love. There are.
Is there gratuitous sex and violence?
Not enough.
Oh, okay.
Not enough.
You could tell him that.
Oh, I'm going to tell him that. I'm definitely going to tell him that. There are like 3 stories going on in one. So it's Kevin Costner. He doesn't come on screen until 45 or 50 minutes in.
Okay.
So it's
anyone else we know in it?
A lot of familiar faces,
okay,
and I'm not good with the names.
I understand. No, I was just curious.
But there are 3 things going on at once. There's like this wagon train headed west. There's a town of settlers and indigenous peoples, I guess I should say. They're fighting the elements.
Not what they said then,
and the indigenous
right.
peoples. And then there's Kevin Costner, who is traveling on horseback with a woman, very attractive, and her young child. And there's kind of a backstory as to what's going on with her and a secret and so forth. What you don't know in watching the first installment, chapter 1, is how these stories are going to converge.
Okay.
But you would call this a big, epic, slice of Americana Western, old school Western.
I love it.
And the scenery, I happen to know because I've read in on it where it was filmed. It was filmed in Utah, and it's gorgeous.
Oh, I was in Utah last September. Oh my gosh.
I need
Horizon,
to tell you,
American Saga.
I need to tell you something else.
Okay, tell me.
So the film debuted at Cannes, right? And
wait, Sienna Miller is the woman?
The hottie.
Oh my God, she's glorious.
Yeah. So
Sam Worthington's in it. Jamie Campbell's in it.
Listen
Abby
to
Lee.
you.
What?
Oh my God.
You got the whole situation.
TC, listen to this.
Okay, listening.
So the film debuted at Cannes.
Okay.
And it received an 11-minute standing ovation. And Kevin Costner was tearful as everybody's in black tie, and they've been sitting there for 3 hours. They gave him an 11-minute standing ovation.
That's insane.
The reviews are very mixed.
Oh, interesting.
Are very mixed. So like there it is.
Okay, do you know what is so interesting about this? Now I'm on Wikipedia, and this makes me think of your novel Talk and how it gets out there and people are interested and then they're not interested and it sits on the shelf.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner first commissioned Horizon as a single film in, guess
30
the
years
year,
ago. Like
1988.
Yeah, he's been
1988. Are you kidding me?
It is his passion. It is his passion project. He's been working on it for that long, and he wrote a $38 million check.
Well,
like the published accounts were that he had thrown $20 million into it, and he said no.
Wow.
$38 million.
Okay.
So that,
by the way, if you had just told me you were interviewing Kevin Costner, I would say, wow, that's really cool. That's
there's a hell
cool
of a
day.
backstory.
Correct.
There's like a business aspect of it. There's the whole like release aspect of it.
Passion.
There's a lot. But I'm just really interested in all of the attendant circumstances to this film.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm wearing the sport coat.
I completely derailed the headlines by asking you why you were looking
I'm not
spiffy.
I'm not going to put on a tie.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a Western. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to, by the way, I have a great Western hat.
You should have worn your boots.
If there were ever a day to wear it, it would be today.
You should have worn your boots.
Today. So, gang.
Okay.
I'll report back tomorrow. I'll tell you what happens. I'll tell you what happens
tomorrow. And when is this airing?
Well, I'm not on CNN on Saturday because President Biden is going to France tonight.
Right.
And Saturday morning at 9 o'clock our time, he's supposed to have a bilateral
with Macron, right?
Right. So the movie doesn't come out until I think it's the 28th of June.
Perfect.
So I will be back in time to drop my interview.
And then you'll drop it at CNN,
and I'm telling you, literally today was the first day I saw the commercial for it.
We'll all
this
start
is going to be
now.
huge.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge, and you're all going to remember that I told you about this Kevin Costner movie, that it's going to be 4 parts, and you got to go to the theater and yada, yada, yada.
Totally psyched. I'm in. I'm so in.
Okay.
Good.
More headlines. Some headlines from the Tuesday edition of the newsletter. Thank you, Jack Oman. I love the cartoon today, right? The Trump retrofit is completed, and it is a cartoon where there are bars now erected all around the White House.
Correct.
And it says 2025.
Oh, boy.
And notice the flag.
Yes.
You notice the flag.
I did notice
the flag. Is upside down.
Yes, it is.
Poll results yesterday, 23,605. Will Trump's criminal conviction have the same or different political impact on black and white voters? This kind of grew out of, I've been thinking about it, reading the polling data on it, but this kind of grew out of the conversation that I had with Charlemagne the God on CNN last Saturday, which was presented in 2 different ways on Fox and on CNN. Today's poll question, the president, of course, signing this immigration order. Should the Biden administration prioritize national security over humanitarian concerns in its new asylum order? It's a very lopsided result. Make sure you're voting. That doesn't mean it's a bad question, but that's where it is. And Thursday, we talked about this yesterday, is the 80th anniversary of D-Day. It's perceived as like the last time you're going to have veterans from D-Day on the beaches in Normandy. That's why the president's going over tonight, because he'll be there. Macron will be there. Rishi Sunak will be there. A lot of the Western leaders will be there.
If there's one piece you read at Smerconish.com today,
Go ahead,
there are
explain.
several that I would say, but this Politico piece that you pulled, The Forgotten Hero of D-Day, is just, it puts things in perspective. It has everything as part of it. It's a story about Corporal Waverly B. Woodson Jr., arrived on Omaha Beach sometime around 10 a.m. on June 6, 1944, about 3 hours after U.S. troops had launched their D-Day landing. He was wounded even before he hit the shore. His landing craft hit a mine in the choppy green water as it neared the beach. He was all of 21 years old and part of the only black combat unit to land on D-Day, and found himself amid almost unspeakable carnage. He set up a first aid station, and he worked on that beach for 30 hours straight. 30 hours straight, working all the way through, trying to treat his own shrapnel wound, trying to help other people. He cared for more than 200 casualties. He was finally relieved at 4 p.m. on the 7th of June, having given artificial respiration to 3 men who had gone underwater during a landing attempt. Only then did he seek further treatment for himself. Unbelievable. And they think that if all of the accounts are accurate, he helped treat somewhere between 5 to 7% of all the U.S. casualties that day. It's an incredible story. And he was never given his due, and now they're circling back to it because of the racial undertones around D-Day.
As the 80th anniversary of D-Day arrives this week, the quest to deliver Woodson the nation's highest combat award continues unsuccessfully. In a surprise Monday morning, provided exclusively in advance to Politico, the Pentagon and Senators Christopher Van Hollen announced that Woodson will receive the Distinguished Service Cross, the nation's second highest medal for combat valor, as part of a long overdue recent reckoning by the military about how institutional racism suppressed awards for heroic black soldiers in World War II. At the other end of the extreme in terms of humankind is Brian Laundrie. Murderer Brian Laundrie poured his sick mind onto paper, scrawling notes about his mania and doodling skull graphics with the words "trust no one" and "kill." New FBI files exclusively obtained by the New York Post revealed the writings and other evidence were photographed by the agency during the raid of the family home after the body of Gabby Petito, the girlfriend he murdered, was found dumped in a remote Wyoming camping area. That was September of 2021.
I thought it was particularly impactful to see those two in your newsletter, because that was a 21-year-old who landed on Omaha Beach, and this is a 23-year-old now deceased but murderer, and how different those two men are.
Totally agree with you. You'll remember when I put my Apple AirTags in my recycling and got as far as Reading, Pennsylvania in a landfill, and then I have no idea. I was always excited to see like if I'd be able to track to China to a landfill over there. That wasn't the case, but a carpenter has provided police with the key to cracking a multi-million-dollar theft case, and it all happened thanks to his hidden Apple AirTags. This happened in Virginia. 43-year-old contractor. Everybody's tools are getting stolen.
He was just looking for his own tools. So he put AirTags in his own tools. And then in tracking down his own tools, the police not only found his tools, but 15,000 other ones worth like some millions and millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
That is the craziest story.
I enjoyed something, and I put it in the newsletter today. If you just want a break... If you just
this is the other one you got to read.
If you just want to break from, the situation at the border and Trump trials and the election, read about Benjamin B. Bolger, who has been to Harvard and Stanford and Yale, Columbia, Dartmouth, and Oxford, Cambridge, Brandeis, and Brown. Overall, he has 14 advanced degrees plus an associate's and bachelor's. Some of his degrees took many years to complete, but this is a guy who's made his life's work education, and now, what does he do as a business? Because, of course, you wanted to know, how does he pay for it all? How do you pay for it?
Right.
And how does he pay for it?
He pays for it all because he is a college counselor.
He'll get your kids into school.
And who better? A full-time private college admissions consultant. No other consultant has Dr. Bolger's record of success, reads his website, a claim that is difficult to verify, yet one that many people seem to believe. 4 years with Bolger runs at least $100,000. In a world of elite college coaching, this isn't exceptional. A 5-year plan from the New York firm Ivy Coach cost as much as $1.5 million. Over the past 15 years, he's just developed a coaching style he compares with that of Bill Belichick, Mr. Miyagi, and Yoda.
If you want to see a picture that's really cool, check out the story on Michigan's Central Station. I know that I said here recently, and I don't remember how it came up, that I'd been to Detroit, and I was really impressed with the rebirth of Detroit. Well, check out the old historic Michigan Central Station and the way that it's been refurbished and brought back to life. It's incredible.
Right.
Incredible. Gang, go vote on today's poll question. We thank you for watching. We thank you for listening. We appreciate all of you, and we'll see you tomorrow.